Hey guys, Jahneva Diva here. How are you? Happy Tuesday. Good morning. Today I'm going to go a little bit off my plan based on some comments I've received from you about how your financial makeover is going. So let's jump right in. So if you've read Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey and then you've heard the story, I wanted to share it with you today to make sure that we're really in the right mindset to continue to, because for the rest of this week we're going to continue going through how we're spending our money and building a plan for how we're going to save up that $1,000. So today I'd like to tell you the story of the gazelle that Dave Ramsey tells. So the gazelle, is out grazing, eating its food, and little does it know that a cheetah is watching, is stalking, is looking for its next meal. Now, if you know anything about cheetah, then you know that they are the fastest animal in the world. They can go from 0 to 75 in like 6 seconds. They're faster than most sports cars. They might be faster than all sports cars if I'm getting the story correct. And so the gazelle is being stalked by this cheetah. And most of us would think, wow, like, done for, fastest animal in the world. See you later, gazelle. Well, what we often overlook is that when the cheetah attacks, when the cheetah does strike, the gazelle have learned to outmaneuver the cheetah. And the cheetah actually only gets the gazelle 1 out of 19 times. So how does the gazelle do that when the cheetah is running at 75 miles per hour? They shimmy, they maneuver, they twist and bob and weave and whatever they need to do to get out of the way and live, right? So not much different than a gazelle, we're working on changing our spending habits to get out of debt. And we need to have the same intensity as that gazelle as we go through this. So that means, you're going to bob and weave and maneuver and twist and shimmy everything, every which way that you can to save up your money and get out of debt. So today what I want you to do is first I want you to reread your vision and your why that you wrote last week. And then we're going to go back through our bank statement and see what were some other ways we could save some money. And I want to kind of frame your thinking as you do this. So first of all, we talk about financial fitness being a lot like changing your actual health and getting fit in that sense as well. So when you do that, right, you can't cut everything out. You can't say, I'm never having chocolate or desserts or sweet ever again. I'm done with chocolate, because it wouldn't work. And just in the same vein, I'm not suggesting that you cut out every piece of spending that isn't directly related to paying off debt. But what I am asking you to do is to really know what's important to you. To really know what makes you tick and what is a valid reason to spend money, what is important to you, and what makes you who you are. And I told you in my very first video that I didn't stop being who I was when I went on this journey. I didn't stop going to happy hours and out to dinner and those kind of things. But I did start to ask myself, does this choice, this spending, align with my vision? And is it worth it? And sometimes it is worth it to go and have a birthday dinner, to go, and visit friends or travel or go to weddings or anything like that. Oftentimes it is worth it, but what I've changed is how I think about it. So I've started to think first, is it worth it? Does it align with my vision? So I want you to practice asking these questions. And then as you start to do that, you'll find out, yes, it is worth it to go to this wedding, but it isn't worth it to stop and eat on the way and pay for that, and then eat in between the wedding maybe, and then eat the next morning. Maybe I bring one of those meals or 2 of those meals. Maybe I bring snacks for the car. So that way I am making smarter choices and still living the way I want to live, that in a way that really aligns with my values and who I am. So today you're going to practice going through your statement and asking yourself, was this purchase worth it? do I really need to spend the money here? Is this what's important to me? In habit building, knowing yourself, who you are, and what makes you tick is super important. Knowing that, you know what, this is a funny story. So I love trail mix. Trader Joe's, I think it was called Chunky Monkey, and also their chocolate raspberry trail mix was my absolute favorite. I could eat an entire bag in about 20 minutes and just be like happy as a clam. But trail mix isn't expensive, so I would go to Trader Joe's and buy like $50 worth of trail mix every other week, let's say. And then I would like eat the entire bag, which is thousands of calories. So knowing myself, like, yes, I love trail mix, but what do I love more than trail mix? Paying off my debt and being in shape and feeding my body what it needs to eat. So I don't do that anymore. Sometimes people buy it for me and I still love it and I still eat it, but I'm not buying it every week, every other week. I'm not craving it and like running to go get it and spend that, $10. And those are like the small changes we're looking for. That's one small maneuver I just made out of the cheetah's path. What is important to me on the flip side is I buy Shakeology every month, which is like a shake by Beachbody. It's super healthy. I eat it for breakfast every day. It gives me energy. It makes me feel great. But I spend, I think it's $130 every month on that, which works out to about $4 a shake. And to me, $4 for breakfast worked out. And the alignment, like the cost benefit for me, was worth it to make that purchase. Some of you are like, that's ridiculous. Why would you ever spend that much money? Because it makes me feel good. It makes me happy. It works in my routine. It's a quick breakfast I can take on the road when I have to be to school by 7. So that's what you need to figure out today. What are you spending your money on that does align with who you are? And what are you spending your money on that like doesn't really? You do it because it's what people do. You do it to keep up with the Joneses. You do it because everyone buys new Nikes every month. What have you built up in your head to be something that you think is part of who you are? You think that you can't give up, but like actually you can. Maybe you have a gym membership you don't ever use, but you keep it because you're like, I should do that. That's what you need to cut out. That's where you're going to find your gazelle-like intensity. That's where you're going to find those maneuvers and those wiggles. Those are the small habits you can build that will have a compound effect as we pay off our debt. And we'll go over kind of exactly when we start to focus on paying off our debt instead of saving our $1,000, I will teach you how an extra $20 payment compounds over time to be like yield a big result towards the end of your loan, or your credit card, or whatever you're paying off. So today you're going to go through, and I want you to practice asking the question, does this align with my vision, my why, and is it worth adding to my debt? Or, on the flip side, is it worth losing out on a payment towards my debt? So that you're paying less interest and you can actually make that extra principal payment. So go through and ask yourself those questions. The end of this week, we're going to do what we were supposed to do today, tomorrow, which is talk more about the nitty-gritty of what we're spending money on. And I'm going to send a survey out at the end of this week to see, have we found our $1,000? Will we be able to save it this month, or do we need to get a little more creative? That's the one tricky part about doing this as a whole group. I can't tell exactly where we all are. So look for that survey to be completed this weekend so I know how we're doing. And I'm proud of you for taking this challenge and today reminding yourself of your vision, going back and looking at that and really thinking through your purchases and being willing to be vulnerable and reflect on who you are and what really is important to you. The last plug I'm going to make is please reach out to your accountability partner today, because this is where things start to get a little tricky, a little more hairy. You're going to want to fight me on a lot of this, and that is okay. That's what's supposed to happen when you're making change. Change is almost always met with resistance, so that is a good thing. That means you're doing what you're supposed to do. So keep it up. I am super proud of you. I'm loving the interaction. It really spoke to me and helped me know exactly what you needed to hear today. So I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to chatting with you tomorrow. Have a great, productive day. Let me know how everything goes in the comments section, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.